Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kevin Green here from Innate Wellness Center in Beverly, Massachusetts. And so we've been talking about the ketogenic diet and our upcoming webinar, which is actually next Thursday night at 6:30. There will be a link attached to the blog that this video is going in, and I'll try to get that link everywhere so you guys can sign up. But what I wanted to talk about today was kind of a little bit of the history or the science behind the ketogenic diet, where it came from, how long it's been around, and why it might be a good option for you. And so this may seem like a newer fad, but it's definitely come into vogue over the last couple of years. So, we had the Paleo diet, and then the keto diet is kind of taking center stage from that. And they're similar in a lot of ways. I mean, the Paleo diet, you want to eat, organic vegetables, you want to eat, happy meats, things that are, grass-fed, farm raised, fish caught in the wild. The thing about Paleo is that you can have some healthy carbs, some potatoes, some, more of those root shoots, things like that, where you really try to limit that in a ketogenic diet. And, the ketogenic diet's been used medically for over 100 years. And what they found, and kind of how it came into vogue, was that they were having a hard time treating people with seizure disorders, epilepsy, things like that. And they found out that by fasting, they were able to dramatically reduce the seizures. But you couldn't keep someone on a fast forever. So what they did was they developed a way to create kind of this fast mimicking diet, which is the ketogenic diet, which is high in fat, 75% fat, low to moderate protein, and very low carbohydrates. So with that macronutrient configuration, they were able to kind of mimic that fast, and they had great results with that. And the ketogenic diet was used for years and years and years until drugs came along. The thing is, it's still being used for that purpose. It's just, certainly drugs are in vogue, So if I had to choose between the two, if I had two options to choose between a drug or something natural, and they kind of do the same thing, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. All drugs have side effects. This food does not have side effects. I mean, the worst thing that you hear about maybe with the ketogenic diet is a keto flu, which is usually a short-lived situation that it's just your body kind of adjusting to going from using, glucose, your sugar, your carbs for fuel, to that ketogenic state. And so, there's actually evidence that this diet's been around for over 500 years for the treatment of seizures. And if you think about it, probably our ancestors before that, the Paleos, the cavemen, they had long times of fasting. So they were probably already fat adapted in a ketogenic state. And, they didn't have a lot of the processed, grainy, carb-laden type stuff to eat. So even when they had food, it was probably mostly protein and fat in nature. And so the ketogenic diet helps to lower your need for insulin. So the two things, some of the hallmarks of metabolic syndrome, you may have heard of that, and that's the condition where, we have insulin resistance, high blood sugar, a lot of insulin floating around in your system, a lot of abdominal visceral fat, and also high blood pressure. And so these are really kind of the hallmarks of these things that kill most Americans. So they lead to diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's. All those things are really kind of exacerbated by this carb-laden diet that we've kind of adapted. They have found dramatic differences. Now, I'm going to talk about cancer right now. So they have had dramatic results with the ketogenic diet and cancer treatment. A lot of cancers, not all of them, a lot of cancers need glucose as their primary fuel. They can't use ketones. So if you're not feeding the cancer with the glucose, it can't survive. So if you're eating a ketogenic diet, it just doesn't do well. Also, as soon as within a couple days, so this goes both ways. Within a couple days of eating a lot of sugar, you can start to push yourself into metabolic syndrome. The same thing on the other side. So within a couple days of limiting those, processed refined carbs, and eating more fats, more healthy proteins, more, fibrous vegetables, that's where you're getting your carbs from. They've seen, results within a couple days, kind of pushing you out of that metabolic syndrome situation that is, like I said, that is killing us Americans. There's a lot of different ways of kind of doing the ketogenic diet. What's important to note though, is it's not for everybody. This way of eating, so eating wholesome foods, eating, grass-fed meats, organic veggies, and all of our happy foods is definitely the way to go for everybody. But whether you go into ketosis, whether you, limit your carbs to, 20 grams a day or not, is not really the most important takeaway from this. Getting into ketosis really does help us get into that fat burning zone. So if you really want to lose a few pounds, a lot, in some cases, this may be a very viable option for you. Now, what about kind of the long term? Is this something you have to do forever? Well, hopefully most people will choose to eat healthy forever. Whether you have to be in ketosis during that whole time or whether you cycle in and out is really up to you, and it really depends on your body and what your body's needs are. In subsequent videos, we're going to go over a little bit more information about the types of foods that you can eat, what you shouldn't eat, what meals look like, some fasting, and also how it affects performance and exercise, because that was always a big thing for me. This has been the number one. So as a type 1 diabetic, I know exactly how my food's are going to affect me, because of what my continuous glucose monitor tells me. As a type 2 diabetic, where you're not taking insulin, you usually don't have a continuous glucose monitor, or just the average person, I know how it affects me because I can monitor it. If you can have those same effects from this diet without even having to monitor it, this is gonna prolong your life. This is gonna limit your chances of, getting cancer, getting Alzheimer's, all of these things. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Like I said, in subsequent videos, we're going to go over a little bit more information about kind of the nuts and bolts and particulars with that. And hopefully you guys will be around for our webinar next Thursday at 6:30. You'll definitely get some information regarding that. Until then, if you have any questions, you can reach me at drkevin@innatewellnesscenter.com. I hope you guys are doing okay in these crazy times, and we will see you all soon. Bye.